Karim Benzema had just won his first Ballon d'Or, the award Cristiano Ronaldo had won 5 times. As the cameras flashed and the crowd cheered, Ronaldo approached his former Real Madrid teammate with a smile. But his whispered words were anything but congratulatory. "I made you," he said. The audio recorder hidden nearby captured everything. October 17, 2022. The Théâtre du Châtelet in Paris glittered under the autumn night sky, hosting football's most prestigious evening. The red carpet had seen legends arrive: Messi, Mbappé, Haaland, Lewandowski, but all eyes were on 2 men whose relationship would implode before the night was over. Karim Benzema, at 34, had finally reached the mountaintop. After a spectacular season with Real Madrid, 44 goals, Champions League glory, La Liga triumph, he was officially the best footballer in the world. The French striker, who had lived in Cristiano Ronaldo's shadow for 9 years at the Bernabeu, was finally stepping into the light. Cristiano Ronaldo sat in the audience wearing an immaculate Tom Ford tuxedo worth or 15,000, his smile perfect for the cameras but his eyes betraying something darker. At 37, in what many considered the twilight of his career, he was watching someone else lift the trophy he believed belonged to him permanently. This was personal. Benzema wasn't just any player, he was his player, his former strike partner, the man who had fed him assists for nearly a decade. The ceremony proceeded with typical French elegance. Didier Drogba and Sandy Heribert hosted, celebrities mingled, and football royalty exchanged pleasantries. Ronaldo maintained his composure when the camera found him, applauding politely as Benzema's name was announced. The Portuguese legend even stood, clapping with apparent enthusiasm as his former teammate walked to the stage. "Cristiano looks happy for Karim," a commentator noted on the live broadcast. "What a beautiful moment between former teammates. If only they knew what was coming." Benzema's acceptance speech was gracious but pointed. He thanked his Real Madrid teammates, his family, his coaches. When he mentioned the club's success, he carefully avoided singling out any particular era or player. The omission was noticed by everyone, especially Ronaldo. "I want to thank all my teammates throughout the years who helped me reach this level," Benzema said in French, then switching to Spanish. Football is a collective sport. No one wins alone. In the audience, Ronaldo's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. His girlfriend, Georgina Rodriguez, placed a hand on his knee, sensing his tension. The French journalist Marc Dubois had been covering Ballon d'Or ceremonies for 2 decades. He knew the real drama always happened backstage, away from the cameras. That's why he had strategically placed digital audio recorders in various locations: the corridors, the VIP lounges, anywhere players might have unguarded conversations. It was an old journalist trick, technically legal in France for ambient recording in public spaces. One of those recorders sat innocuously on an equipment table in a corridor connecting the main theater to the VIP reception area. Dubois had forgotten about it, distracted by interviewing Mbappé. The device would keep recording for 4 hours on its battery. At 10:47 p.m., approximately 20 minutes after Benzema received his award, the recorder captured footsteps echoing on the marble floor. Then voices. Karim. The voice was unmistakable, the Portuguese accent, the slight lisp that millions of fans could identify. "Cristiano Ronaldo." "Cristiano," Benzema replied, his voice neutral. "I was wondering when you would come." There was a pause. The sound of a door closing. They had moved into a small side room, but the recorder could still pick up their voices through the thin wall. "Congratulations," Ronaldo said, but the word sounded forced, like swallowing glass. "Thank you," Benzema replied simply. Another pause. Then Ronaldo spoke again, his voice lower, more intense. "You know, I watched your speech. Interesting how you thanked everyone except the person who made your career. Made my career." Benzema's voice had an edge now. "What are you talking about? Don't play dumb, Karim. 9 years. 9 years I carried you at Madrid. How many assists did you give me? How many goals did I create for you? I made you look better than you were. Carried me." Benzema laughed, but it was harsh, without humor. "Is that what you tell yourself?" "It's the truth." Ronaldo shot back. "Before I arrived, what were you?" "A good player, nothing special. I elevated everyone around me. You bail everyone. And now you stand there with my award. Why you are award?" Benzema interrupted. "Listen to yourself. This is why the team plays better without you. Everything had to be about Cristiano. Every goal, every celebration, every trophy." The sound of movement, perhaps Ronaldo stepping closer. "Careful, Karim. Remember who you're talking to." I'm talking to a man who can't accept that someone else deserves recognition. Benzema replied, his voice steady. You left Madrid because you couldn't stand being second to anyone. You couldn't stand that the team didn't revolve around you anymore. I left because I conquered everything there was to conquer. 3 Champions Leagues in a row. 4 in 5 years. Records that will never be broken. What have you done without me? 1 Champions League. 1? One where I was the main character? Benzema said firmly. Not your supporting actor. Do you know how it feels to finally play without calculating every move based on where Cristiano wants the ball? To take a shot without wondering if you'll be frozen out for not passing to you? You ungrateful. Ronaldo's voice was rising. I made you. Every big goal you scored, who drew the defenders, who created the space. You think you would have survived at Madrid without me protecting you? Protecting me? Benzema's laugh was bitter now. You mean overshadowing me? Do you remember 2018, when I had that difficult period? You never once supported me publicly. Not once. It was always about your goals, your records. Because I was the best? I am the best. 5 Ballon d'Ors. Karim. You have 1 and you only got it because I wasn't there anymore. Because Messi is finished. You won by default. There was a sharp intake of breath from Benzema. Be default. 44 goals in a Champions League is by default. Leading France to the Nations League is by default. You know what I mean? Ronaldo pressed on. If I had stayed at Madrid, if I had that team around me, you think you would be holding that trophy? Never! You would still be what you always were. A very good player living in the shadow of greatness. You want to know the truth, Cristiano? Benzema's voice had gone quiet, dangerous. The team was relieved when you left. Yes, relieved. We could finally play as a team again. Not as Cristiano Ronaldo and his 10 assistants. The sound of sudden movement. A chair scraping. Say that again. Ronaldo's voice was barely above a whisper. Team. Was. Relieved. Benzema pronounced each word clearly. Ask anyone. Ask Marcelo, ask Modric privately. Even Sergio, your great friend. We respected what you did for the club. But we were tired of the circus. Every training session, every match, every press conference, it all had to be about you. You're lying. Am I? Remember the 2018 final against Liverpool? Your bicycle kick was brilliant, yes. But do you remember what you said after? I am the best player in the world. Not we are the best team. You. Always you. Because it was true. And that's why you'll never understand. Benzema said sadly. Football is 11 players, not 1. You scored over 400 goals for Madrid, but how many careers did you stunt? How many young players never developed because they had to serve you? How many games did we lose because you had to take every free kick, even when others were better positioned? We won 4 Champions Leagues. The team won 4 Champions Leagues. Sergio Ramos, Modric, Cruz, Marcelo, Casemiro, they won those trophies as much as you. But in your mind, it's all you. It's always all you. There was a long pause. When Ronaldo spoke again, his voice was different. Colder. You think you've won something tonight? You think this little trophy makes you my equal? I never wanted to be your equal, Cristiano. I wanted to be myself. Tonight I finally am. Yourself? Ronaldo scoffed. You're nothing without the platform I gave you. 9 years of playing next to me, learning from me, feeding off my greatness. And this is how you repay me, with disrespect. Respect is earned, not demanded. You taught me that, ironically. I taught you everything. How to position yourself, how to handle pressure, how to win. No, Benzema said firmly. You taught me how not to be. You taught me that individual glory means nothing if your teammates resent you. You taught me that records are worthless if you lose the locker room's respect. The locker room loved me. They feared you, Cristiano. There's a difference. They feared your tantrums if they didn't pass. They feared your sulking if you didn't score. They feared your influence with the president. Is that love? The sound of footsteps pacing. You know what? Ronaldo's voice had changed again. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy your one little trophy. Because in 10 years, 20 years, when people talk about Real Madrid's greatest era, whose name will they remember? Who has the statue outside the Bernabeu? The statue that you demanded in your contract negotiations. Benzema shot back. Yes, everyone knows about that too. I earned that statue. You earned it, yes. But you didn't need to demand it. That's the difference between us. I never asked for anything except the chance to play. You asked for everything: special treatment, private jets, social media clauses. Because I deserve it. Because I am Cristiano Ronaldo, and I am Karim Benzema, the 2022 Ballon d'Or winner. Deal with it. Another pause. The tension was audible even through the recording. This isn't over, Ronaldo said quietly. Yes, it is, Benzema replied. Our friendship, our connection, it's over. It has been since you left Madrid. Maybe even before. I'm tired of pretending otherwise. You'll regret this. The only thing I regret is not saying this sooner. For 9 years, I smiled and nodded while you took credit for everyone's work. I watched you claim assists that were simple passes. I stayed quiet when you blamed others for your misses. No more. I see. So the mouse finally roars when the lion is gone? The mouse. Benzema laughed genuinely this time. You still don't get it. I was never a mouse. I was a player doing his job, helping his team win. You just couldn't see past your own reflection. My reflection includes 5 Ballon d'Ors. Yours includes 1. Never forget that. I won't. Just like I won't forget who showed up to my ceremony to try to diminish my moment. What kind of man does that, Cristiano? What kind of teammate? I came to support. You came to be seen. To remind everyone that you exist. To make my night about you like always. But it didn't work, did it? They gave the award to me. The voters chose me, not you. This year, one year when I had a difficult season. When the team around me. There you go again. Excuses. The team. The coach. The system. Never your decline. I'm not declining. I'm adapting to inferior teammates. Bruno Fernandes is inferior. Rashford. Or do you mean Al Nassr teammates are inferior? Because whose choice was that move to Saudi Arabia? The mention of Saudi Arabia seemed to strike a nerve. There was a sharp sound. Perhaps a hand hitting a wall. Don't talk about things you don't understand. I understand perfectly. You couldn't handle not being the main star in Europe anymore. So you ran to where they would pay you to be a god. Or $200 million a year to play in a retirement league. It's not retirement. It's growing the game. It's hiding. Hiding from real competition. Hiding from players who no longer fear you. Hiding from the reality that you're not 25 anymore. I'll play until I'm 45. I'll break every record. Records in Saudi Arabia. Who cares? You talk about legacy, but you're tarnishing yours. The great Cristiano Ronaldo. Scoring tap-ins against Al Batten instead of competing with the best. Shut up. The truth hurts, doesn't it? You could have aged gracefully at Madrid, taken a lesser role, mentored younger players, been a leader. Instead, you demanded to remain the center of everything until they had no choice but to let you go. They didn't let me go. I chose to leave. After Florentino made it clear you weren't untouchable anymore. After the team made it clear they could win without you. You left because your ego couldn't handle being just another player. I'll never be just another player. No, you're right. You'll always be special. But special doesn't mean you get to diminish others. Special doesn't mean you get to walk into my moment and try to make it small. Your moment? Ronaldo's voice dripped with disdain. 1 Ballon d'Or and you think you have moments. I have an entire museum of moments, and I'm happy for you. Truly. But this is my moment. Mine, not yours. Can you not let me have even this? You have it because I'm not there. Because Messi is old. Because it's a weak year? A weak year. Benzema's voice rose for the first time. I scored in every knockout round of the Champions League. Hat tricks against PSG, against Chelsea. 4 goals against City. The winning goal in the final. What more do you want? I want recognition of the truth. That you learned everything from me. I learned some things from you, yes. I learned technique, positioning, finishing. But I also learned arrogance. I learned selfishness. I learned how to make enemies of friends. Those lessons I've had to unlearn. You call me selfish. Everything I did was for the team. Everything you did was for Cristiano Ronaldo. The team benefited, yes, because you're that good. But don't pretend it was altruistic. Don't pretend you ever put anyone before yourself. I put Madrid before everything. You put Madrid before other clubs. But you never put Madrid before Cristiano. Remember 2017, when we were struggling in the league. But you rested yourself for the Champions League knockouts. The team needed you in La Liga. We won the Champions League. Why you won the Champions League? See, even now you can't say without effort. There was another long pause. The sound of breathing heavy and controlled. You want to know something, Karim? Ronaldo's voice had gone quiet again, almost conversational. I feel sorry for you. Sorry for me. Yes, because you'll spend the rest of your career being compared to me. Every goal, every game, every trophy. Ronaldo won 5, but Ronaldo scored more. You'll never escape my shadow even with that trophy in your hands. I'm not trying to escape your shadow, Cristiano. I'm standing in my own light. Your light exists because I lit it. Every opportunity you got, every moment of glory, because defenses were worried about me. And now, who's lighting my light now? You're in Saudi Arabia, Messi is in Miami. By your logic, I should be struggling. Instead, I'm the best player in the world. For 1 year. Yes, for 1 year. This year, 2022. My year, not yours, not Messi's. Mine. Can you not just say congratulations and mean it? Congratulations, Ronaldo said, but the word was poison. You can't, can you? You physically cannot be happy for someone else's success. I'm happy for deserving winners. Deserving. What makes someone deserving in your eyes? Scoring fewer goals than you. Having fewer followers on Instagram. What? Deserving means earning it the right way. Not benefiting from others' absence. Others' absence. You mean your absence. The world doesn't stop when Cristiano Ronaldo has a bad year. Other players exist. Other stories matter. My bad years are better than most players' best years. And there it is. The inability to see beyond yourself. This is why we're here, in this room, having this conversation. Because you couldn't just shake my hand and be happy for me. I did shake your hand. For the cameras. But you couldn't leave it there. You had to find me. Corner me. Try to make me feel small. Why? What do you gain? I'm trying to remind you of reality. Your reality. Not mine. In your reality, you're eternal, you're perfect. You're irreplaceable. In actual reality, you're a 37-year-old footballer who can't accept that time moves forward. Time means nothing! I'm fitter than players half my age. Physically, maybe. But mentally, you're stuck in 2008 when you won your first Ballon d'Or. You're still that young man who needs everyone to know he's the best. Except now, you're not. The sound of sudden movement. Footsteps. Where are you going? Benzema asked. This conversation is over. Running away. The great Cristiano Ronaldo runs from words. I don't run from anything. Then stay. Let's finish this. Let's really talk about why you're so angry. It's not about me winning. It's about you losing. Losing relevance. Losing the spotlight. Losing the thing that defines you. Nothing defines me! I define myself. Through football. Only through football. What are you without it, Cristiano? Who are you when the goals stop? I am Cristiano Ronaldo. That's a name, not an identity. I know who I am without football, a father, a Muslim, a Frenchman. I have faith, family, interests beyond the pitch. What do you have? I have everything. You have trophies. You have records. You have money. But do you have peace? Do you have friends who like Cristiano the person, not CR7 the brand? Don't psychoanalyze me. I'm not. I'm asking questions you should ask yourself. Why are you here in this room? Trying to hurt me? What emptiness are you trying to fill? I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to wake you up. To what? To my place in your hierarchy. I'm awake, Cristiano. I've been awake for years. Watching you, learning what not to become. Tonight proves I learned well. You learned to be ungrateful. I learned to be myself. The man holding the Ballon d'Or. Deal with it or don't. But either way, I'm done with this conversation. We're done when I say we're done. No. That's another thing that's changed. You don't decide for me anymore. Never again. The sound of a door opening. Karim. Goodbye, Cristiano. I hope you find peace someday. I really do. Don't walk away from me. But footsteps were already receding. Another door opened and closed. For a moment, there was just the sound of breathing heavy and frustrated. Then Ronaldo's voice, talking to himself. Ungrateful bastard. I made him. I made all of them. They'll see. They'll all see. The sound of a fist hitting something, a wall, perhaps. Then footsteps leaving in the opposite direction. The recording continued for another 2 hours, capturing nothing but distant party sounds and occasional footsteps. Mark Dubois retrieved it the next morning, planning to delete it as usual when nothing newsworthy occurred. But when he heard the conversation, he sat in his small Paris apartment, stunned. This was dynamite. The kind of recording that could destroy friendships, tarnish legacies, change how people viewed their heroes. But it was also unethical to release it. These were private words not meant for public consumption. For 3 months, Dubois sat on the recording. He told no one, showed no one. But rumors began to circulate. People who had been at the party whispered about a confrontation. Benzema and Ronaldo never appeared together again, never exchanged public pleasantries. When asked about each other in interviews, they gave cold, professional responses. Finally, in January 2023, Du Bois made a decision. The recording found its way to a Spanish journalist known for Real Madrid scoops. From there, it exploded across social media, first in fragments, then in full. The football world was shocked. Ronaldo's Benzema trended globally. Fans took sides. Madrid fans were split, grateful for both players, but forced to confront ugly truths about their hero's personality. The recording was analyzed, translated, dissected. Body language experts examined their public interactions from years past, finding signs of tension previously overlooked. Ronaldo's camp initially claimed the recording was fake, AI-generated, but voice analysis confirmed its authenticity. Then they pivoted to context. It was taken out of context, a private moment of frustration, not representative of true feelings. Benzema said nothing for weeks. When finally asked directly during a press conference, he simply said, "Private conversations should remain private. I have nothing but respect for what Cristiano achieved at Madrid. I wish him well in his future endeavors." It was diplomatic, classy, and somehow more damaging to Ronaldo than any attack would have been. The leak changed narratives. Stories emerged from former teammates, speaking anonymously about the pressure of playing with Ronaldo. Young players described being afraid to shoot when he was on the pitch. Coaches revealed arguments about tactics that always seemed to favor getting the ball to Cristiano. But there was pushback too. Other players defended Ronaldo, citing his work ethic, his winning mentality, his role in their development. The debate raged for months. In Saudi Arabia, Ronaldo continued scoring goals against overmatched opponents. But something had changed. The mask had slipped too far. The image of the perfect champion, the ultimate teammate, was forever tarnished by his own words. Benzema continued his excellent form, adding a Champions League semi-final appearance and strong league performance. When asked about the Ballon d'Or, he would smile and say it was a special night, nothing more. The relationship between the two men, once brothers in arms, was irreparably broken. They had won everything together: Champions Leagues, La Ligas, Club World Cups. They had celebrated goals together, suffered defeats together, grown from young talents to global superstars together. But in the end, ego destroyed what time and distance could not. The recording served as a reminder that even the greatest partnerships can harbor deep resentments, that success can breed jealousy as easily as joy. Years later, when both had retired, journalists would ask if they had reconciled. Both would give vague answers about respect and moving forward. But those who heard the recording knew the truth. Some wounds don't heal, some words can't be unsaid. The Théâtre du Châtelet hosted many more ceremonies, saw many more winners. But none generated a secret recording quite like the night when Cristiano Ronaldo told Karim Benzema, "I made you." And Benzema replied with truths that echoed through football history. In the end, Benzema was right about one thing. He had learned from Ronaldo, learned exactly what not to become. And in surpassing his teacher, he had committed the one sin the Portuguese could never forgive. He had stepped out of the shadow and into his own light. The recording ended with distant music and laughter from the party. Somewhere in that crowd, two men who had once been brothers now stood as strangers, separated by more than just a golden ball. Football would move on, new stars would rise. But the night when Cristiano Ronaldo's ego met Karim Benzema's truth would be remembered as the moment a partnership died and uncomfortable realities were laid bare. All because someone left a recorder running and two men forgot that in modern football, privacy is as rare as humility.